We're back with the Screen Team on today's Talk 930 KWOC and 93.3 FM. We're being brought to you by Fearless Social, Whitworth Gift Chest Jewelers, and Poplar Bluff Drywall. Remember, you can check out the Screen Team on all kinds of social medias, including we have our own YouTube channel. We're on Facebook, and we have a Twitter account as well. So check out the Screen Team. We've got the S-Wines from St. Louis. They are doing the reviews today, and they're doing a Robert Loggia trifecta today. And the next one is called Return to Me, one of my all-time favorite romantic comedies. Guys, I know this one is very, very special to you guys. Tell us about Return to Me and why you chose this.
Return to Me came out in 2000, and it was recommended to me back then, and I went and saw it at the movie theater and was pleasantly surprised because I wasn't a huge David Duchovny fan because I thought, oh, this guy's from X-Files. I don't know if I'm going to like him at all in this, and I was pleasantly surprised. It was a really sweet movie, well-written, and I really enjoyed it. And later in years, I owned the DVD, and it's still one of my favorite movies of all time. And my husband even did a surprise trip to Chicago where they shot the movie and all the different scenes in the movie. And I just really enjoyed the romantic comedy, and it's very timeless. If you I would recommend if you watch it, and then watch it again with the commentary of Bonnie Hunt and the other writer. I can't think of his name off the top of my head right now.
He's the guy with the hair plugs in the movie.
Yeah, he has a little small role in there.
Don Lake is his name?
Don Lake, yeah. That's right,
okay,
yeah.
Cool.
That's who he is.
And
but let me tell you, when I first met my wife, her and I, we went down to her basement. We watched Money Pit with Tom Hanks.
Great movie.
Worst decision ever.
I love the movie.
I do
and
too,
then,
man.
Not in the same night, but then we watched Return to Me, and I was resistant to it because, well, hey, David Duchovny.
Right.
But I watched it, and you know what? I really liked it, and I'm not ashamed to say that. But it was really because of the four old guys in the movie, Carol O'Connor, Robert Loggia, and the two other guys. I couldn't tell you who they were,
right?
Or who they are, but they're hilarious. And also, Jim Belushi's in it, and David Allen Greer, and I think you already said Bonnie Hunt. But anyway, it's just it's funny. I mean, there's some sad stuff that happened, and Ann told you guys the whole movie of Evergreen, so she'll probably tell you this whole movie too.
Well, I'll say bits and pieces of it. It's a great romantic comedy. Bonnie Hunt's comedy and comedic timing and her writing really is brilliant. And the cast, everybody, like what Mark had just mentioned, the great supporting roles that just brought that movie to life. And even when they say in their commentary that they try not to date the movie by putting certain phrases in there that were during that time period of 2000, the only reference that they made was Sammy Sosa. But for the rest of the time, you could put the movie in now and think that the movie was made today.
Yeah.
And that's what I appreciate, the writing and the craft of it, and what makes it a very enjoyable movie. And I would recommend it as a family movie. I mean, we watched it with his mom and dad. I've watched it with my parents, siblings, and everything, and everybody has really enjoyed it. And it's not just a movie you just see once. You just want to see it again and again and again, because you pick up more of the comedy, and especially what Mark mentioned before, older guys, which Robert Loggia is one of them. You just enjoy their acting and their ability to be relaxed, which makes it look real.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the things they talk about is one of the things that you can see when you're watching the movie the first time, because when the movie starts, you're thinking, is this a drama that I'm watching? And then then the comedy does come through, but you see between the characters just that there's how the characters interplay with each other.
Good chemistry.
Yeah, thank you. That's
Very
the
true.
word. We're married, and when we watched the commentary with Bonnie Hunt, she was talking about how much ad-libbing went on, and then she would point out the different points in the movie where the actors and actresses would do the ad-libbing, and that was really funny, because you would wonder about that when you watch the movie the first time. Like, well, there's no way they wrote that into the script, and so that was kind of fun to see. There was one point where they're in a bowling alley, and they make mention that that's the first time that Robert Loggia had ever been in a bowling alley in his life, and he goes up. I'm gonna spoiler alert. This is a huge impact to the movie. So turn off your radio for the next 10 seconds. I'm kind of a talker, so maybe the next 30 seconds. But then be sure to tune back in to the Screen Team. Robert Loggia goes up. It's the first time he's ever been in a bowling alley, and he bowls a strike first time.
That's awesome.
And so he starts freaking out and stuff, and it's kind of funny to watch. So I think that was 30 seconds. So everybody should be tuning back in about now.
Hopefully, let's give them a couple more seconds. And they're back.
But speaking of Robert Loggia, while we picked him again, he's such a great character actor that he plays a chef in the movie. And he's very relaxed, an Italian chef at a Irish restaurant, which is very funny, an Irish-Italian restaurant, which they did indeed. The restaurant is very real. It's not an Irish-Italian restaurant. It's a barbecue joint that's in Chicago. That's where we happened to go, and was one of the places we visited. And it was
I found it. We sat in the booth that was filmed in the movie.
Nice.
Who's romantic? I'm romantic. What's up, ladies?
And again, it was just that he was very relaxed in the role, that it made you feel like it just made the movie very believable and enjoyable to watch. And even when he talks with the four men and they're sitting at the table, there are many scenes where they're sitting and talking. It is just as if you'd see four old guys, and that's exactly what they're going to be talking about is music and movies and relationships and people. So,
I mean, it's the same nonsense that like we talk about when we get together.
Yeah,
it just makes it a really great movie, and I'd highly recommend it to anybody.
So, how was the food at the restaurant?
Oh, it was great.
It was good. The barbecue, was, and that was the other thing too, because when we even walked in, I was surprised at how the place was even bigger than it looks like in the movie, only because we found out that they actually made certain walls and partitions to make the door that the characters walk out of to go out in this garden area, which if there is no door that goes out to the garden area. The garden area is separate in another location.
Yeah, the garden area is like
it's about 5 or 6 blocks away from there. But it's how great cinematography where they made you believe that you're actually walking out to this garden area where there is no garden; it's a street.
Yeah.
I mean, for us to have done that was, and I mean, this is a little aside from the movie, and so I guess I would say I would recommend for all of your listeners to, if you have any favorite movie that's within, I guess, driving distance or travel distance for you, to do something like that, because it was an awesome experience for us. Just the surprises that we didn't know we'd have, where like Annie was talking about the dimensions of the back of the bar restaurant, and just sitting in the same seats, and the fact that it looks like they walk out one door into this huge garden, and the way they shoot the scene, and to walk out and the garden is actually 6 blocks away, or that when you walk outside, or you're walking up to the building and it's on a street corner, but in the movie there's a building next to the bar, and you're like, wait a minute, there was a building here, where'd that go?
Right.
So it's
that's very
some
cool.
neat stuff.
And I did know that we even spoke with the people that worked there, and that worked there even during the time when they shot the movie, which that was 13 years later. It was made into an Irish-Italian restaurant for those 3 months where they shot the film.
Yeah, that's
They
so cool.
never changed it. They never went back to being a barbecue joint. And they did most of their scenes at night around 12 or early morning, I guess, like midnight to 4 a.m. is where they did a lot of the shots.
Yeah.
Because they had to leave the restaurant open for patrons.
Oh, wow.
So, and all the people were compensated. All the workers were compensated during that time when they shot that movie, which...
Yeah, like there was like a 6-week setup or something like that where I guess that some of the workers, or maybe all of them, couldn't work, and so that they paid them all.
So it was neat to even hear their perspective of it. So, but yeah, like Mark said, when you love a movie like we did, this romantic comedy of Return to Me with Minnie Driver and David Duchovny, you want to do that. You want to get a chance to, maybe invest the time in, like, listening to the commentary, especially if on a DVD, if they have a commentary section. I didn't think I would like it because I like the movie so much, and it's kind of like I don't want to hear people talking. But I actually enjoyed that more because after you watch it so many times, you want to know a little bit more about where they chose the scenes and why they did what they did.
Can you even believe that? She's married to me, but yet she doesn't want to hear people talking.
So
it's called Return to Me. It stars David Duchovny and Minnie Driver and, of course, Robert Loggia. Our final movie is called Necessary Roughness. We'll review that next on Today's Talk 930 KWOC.